Some careers are carefully planned. Others unfold through courage, curiosity, and willingness to step into the unknown. My guest today left Belgium almost 2 decades ago to build a life and a career in Romania, moving through logistics, international business, and leadership. Today, he is responsible for the daily management of the Chamber of Commerce, helping connect companies, ideas, opportunities across borders. But behind the titles and responsibilities lies a deeper story. What does it really mean to build something far from home? And how does a historian end up managing the flow of goods, people, and opportunities across countries? Today I'm talking with Alain Schodts, Executive Director at Belgium, Luxembourg, Romanian, Moldovan Chamber of Commerce, about movement, markets, and the human side of international business. Welcome to a new episode of Life and Business Champion, and welcome, Mr. Alain Schodts. Hi, Alain, and thank you very much for accepting our invitation in our ITalks studio.
I'm honored to be invited for this interview. Glad to be here. Thank you.
I would suggest to start this dialogue with you with a simple but probably powerful question. For those who do not know you, who is Alain and where is he at the moment?
For the moment, still in Romania.
Okay.
And I think I will remain a long time, if possible, in Romania. Who is Alain Schodts? Good question, good question. Sometimes I'm asking myself who I'm. No, I'm, a person who likes to be with other persons, who like to help other persons, to connect other persons. I'm not the person who like the big publicity. I'm not like that. I like to bring people together, to connect, to network. This is what I'm doing in my last period, in the last 13, 14 years with the Chamber of Commerce. And I have a big satisfaction by doing that. Why, if I see that people coming back to me saying, listen, thanks to your introduction with whoever, we did some business, we made a contract, whatever, this is giving me a great satisfaction. I was always a person during my life who was in committees, local in the village where I was living in Belgium, also here. I like to help other people, but I'm not the person who would like to be in the spotlight. Never. Of course, if you do this organization now more than 13, 14 years, people knows you. It's impossible not to be known. But still, I'm not a person who would like to be in the front to say, I am Alain Schodts, I am this. No, I like to serve a community, which is very important. And I hope that people and companies recognize me for that.
For those who are just clicking on this podcast, Life and Business Champion, what are your most important 3 life lessons, what you would like to pass to them?
My life lessons, like, okay, I have already a certain age, and you have in your life ups and downs, like every one of us. What is important, not to give up, never give up. Maybe you can be one day you have something very bad is happening. Maybe you have a few days that, or a certain period that you don't feel good because of this. But I'm a person, once I got over this, I restart, always looking on the bright side of life. It's very difficult sometimes, and I had to fight a few setbacks in my life. I had to come back from far, but I did it. And that's the most important. Never, never, never give it up. Other things in my life, yeah. I have some, in life, sometimes you have to make choices. If it's not professional, in sport or whatever, and you're on a cross point where you have to make a choice, and maybe afterwards you say, maybe it was a bad choice. No, don't regret it. Don't never regret it. You took the decision, and that's it.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it. And another point that life lessons, and that's not so positive, maybe, and that I overcome over the years. Too much trust in other people sometimes, and you get some setbacks because of this.
This being that you had some disappointments?
Yeah, disappointments in people. But over the years, it's not that I don't trust people anymore.
Do you expect less?
Yeah, expect less.
It's funny that you mentioned all these things that not also interesting, and we are at episode, I don't 35, 36, Life and Business Champion, and we had a guest like you invited here, and there's some things coming up over and over and over. One of them was, for example, that you accept the challenges and you make a decision and then don't regret it, because past is past, present is here, and future doesn't exist yet.
Correct. Yeah. And that's it is, because it's difficult to return, you know. I give today to somebody an example of the choice that you have to make. When I was young and I came out of the army, there was still a period that we had to go to the army. I had two offers, job offers. It was one company, a retail company, and another company was a marketing company. And I chose the retail company. But in fact, if I see then how my professional career was going, it should have been better marketing. But okay.
Why is that?
No, because I think that I'm relatively good in marketing, sales over the years. But okay, that's a choice you made, and it is like it is, and you cannot regret it.
About choices, I learned that you started, at one point, you studied modern history, correct?
Correct.
Now, that's pretty far away from logistics, transport, and international business.
Oh, but that is a very easy explanation.
How was this change from that to where you ended up in Romania?
Yeah, but you have to say in the period that I came out, there was no job offers in the domain of history. What you can do with history was a teaching in a library, whatever. And the job, it was very limited to find a job. I give you an example that after 5 years, we came with the last years altogether, and only 20% found a job in history.
And is working.
Yeah, was working. And once you go in a certain direction, professional, it's difficult to change the direction. So one of my longest careers was DHL in Belgium. So it's a courier company, it's in transport, it's delivery. And, you know, once you're in that direction, you stay in that direction because you build up an experience, and you want other companies want to use you because of that experience. With the history, I only can tell, okay, it's now my hobby because I'm very interested in history, especially the Romanian history is a very interesting history. Also with my middle school, university, it's a universal education. You have a general knowledge about a lot of things, not in deep, but you have a general knowledge about things in life. If you are a professional, chemical engineer or whatever, you're specified in that domain. Don't ask me something about chemical because I don't know anything about this. With this education, you have a general knowledge. And on one hand, I'm happy because of this.
You mentioned about building future also. I'm curious, what do you think people from your point of view, people do build their careers intentionally, or they just unfold as it goes? From your experience,
I think, from my experience, you have to let it go like it comes. If you do your job with passion and also on a professional way, the job offers are coming automatically. If it's now by another company, by a headhunter, whatever, it's coming automatically. If you are really focused on to go very fast, go on the ladder as the highest position, in many cases, it doesn't work. It needs to come spontaneous. It needs to build on your capabilities, on your dedication to the job, and it comes automatically. That is my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think this is the best way. If you force your career, you will never go. When I came in Romania,
was it 2007?
2007. What I found, but you have also to see the economical situation. My first impression from the Romanian working class, that there was, I call them job hoppers. If they could find a job with 100 euros more on the other side of the street, they was going. But I have a character, and I'm dedicated to a company. Even when they get me a better job offer, but once I feel good to my place, I want to continue on that. And that was a little bit the situation in Romania. But this is also because the salaries at that time in 2007 was not on the level we have now a little bit. And 100 euros, I give an example, was a lot of money.
Yeah, well, some of the expenses were pretty high. That I remember, I moved into Bucharest in 2004, and I had like a salary of 200 euro. That was it, and the rent was 120. So we can imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, but it's something in me. I like to stay. I need to be very comfortable in a professional career, and if I feel comfortable, I like to stay there.
You came to Romania 2007, and you started working, and not working, you started to develop the branch of Belgium company, One More Group, right?
Yes, I had a small experience before. It was a small company, consulting company in the transport of dangerous goods, especially in the air freight. But I saw that this service that we offered was a little bit too expensive for the Romanian market. And then the owner of the Vamur Group, now it's Vamur Logistics, he was in Bucharest here. He wanted to set up a Romanian branch, and that is what I did in a couple of years to set up the Vamur Group.
Was it hard to develop something which in Romania back then it wasn't that developed, this branch?
Because
not the branch itself, also the type of service.
No, you have to see. I think people who are in the world of the transport know that a lot of Western European companies wanted to have a branch in countries like Poland, like Romania, like Bulgaria, because what I was looking for was the cheaper workforce, drivers, I mean, with the registration of trucks here in Romania. These people was working most of the time in Western Europe. So that was the setup of the company. The only thing what I advised to Mr. Vamur, the owner, is to have also some local activity. Because I don't...
Why is that?
Why? Because if you are only doing activities in, for example, Belgium, you're like a fandom company. It's like you can have a camera change somewhere, and that's all. And I said, you need also to generate some local activities, because on one hand, our tax organization, like also that you contribute some VAT, whatever, because in this way, what we invoiced to the mother company was only invoices with intracommunautaire without VAT. And then I started to have some logistics, which my first warehouse was in 2013 in Timișoara. Then Sibiu was following, and then we had the intention to come to Bucharest. But then there was, and this was one of my setbacks, was a little bit a dispute with the CEO. And I said, okay, thank you. And then I found some other opportunities.
You mentioned that you opened up a warehouse in Timișoara and then in Sibiu, and you were about to move to Bucharest. Now, people who think of logistics think of two things, probably, or mainly, trucks and warehouses, right?
Yeah.
But logistics is more than that.
Yeah, but okay, you have to, don't forget, companies like to store their goods. You need to have in logistics what is the intention of logistics? That you have a central point of the storage of your goods, and that they can go very fast to the end customer who needs these goods. Therefore, you need to think. And if you go around in Romania, these big industrial parks are always on very strategic points of the country, close to a highway. At that time was not so many highways, but anyway,
we have one like that.
So there it was. For example, now I predict that one of the most important logistic points in Romania is Sebeș and Turda, because there you have there the connection highway between Sebeș and Turda. You have the Transylvania highway on the top. You have the A1 highway from Sibiu going to the border. So you need to see, and all the logistics parts are following this. And don't forget, Romania is a big country.
Yes, and we are opening up Moldova with the highway, right? So that can be also it's, historically underdeveloped region of Romania, but it can open up new business areas. To be honest, I'm working marketing for the last 12 years with a construction company, and I use not in a bad sense, but I have my sources of information about economy and logistics. That's a very, very important source of information for me about the economy, because logistics, transportation, especially goods transportation, they feel very fast what's happening in the economy, and they contract in a certain speed, and then they open up when the economy is opening up also with another speed, right?
Yes.
And therefore, transportation for me, it's a good source of information. How is the economy working? And where are we going forward, right? And there's interesting signals coming in these days regarding the Romanian economy. I'm curious, you have experience in logistics, but now you are for more than 13, 14 years as a president of the Chamber of Commerce. What did logistics contribute to your current activity in terms of knowledge, information, and experience?
Knowing the country.
Yeah. Why is that important?
Because with, for example, with my professional life, I was going around in the whole country, because for the company, you need to find clients, customers, you need to make contracts. So I was going to all parts of Romania to find clients. And then you see the country. And the country, logistics-wise, could be on a much higher level if we should have how to say, the infrastructure that we still miss in Romania. I see in the last year there is a progress, in positive progress. But if we should have better infrastructure on the road infrastructure, on the train infrastructure, the port of Constanța, for example, we should be as a country much further than we are now. Believe me. But what it helps with the chamber is that there I started already to develop my network. And that's important, because Chamber of Commerce is one of the most important tasks that you have is networking, connecting people. And thanks to the professional life, I had already a good base, and now I just developed it more. Because I know I have, if the Belgian ambassador is telling to me that I'm his first point of contact of information to know, he's calling me, do you know a person there? Yes, I know. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like to do for him and to help. Like I said before, I like to help people. If you call me and you said you have a contact in whatever company, if I have it, I will give it to you, because that is a certain satisfaction that I can make other people happy about this.
Now we are living interesting times as we speak. Also nationwide, like the Romanian level, but European level and even global geopolitical turmoil, and we have challenging things and changing things, rapidly changing things around us. And I know that leaders, which I'm talking to, guests like you and entrepreneurs who are building up Romania, not only, sometimes they tell me about something which is quite often met. In uncertain times, some people tend to act and to be very fast because they sense the moment that this is now the time to make investments or get market share, when others just stay there and freeze. And sometimes some others back off. Now, leaders in uncertain times, sometimes they are struggling to make decisions. How are you coping with uncertainty in your life, in your professional life, in decision making, in leadership?
You know, in my professional career, I can say we had some financial, economical recessions. Mm-hmm. The only thing what I always was learning was, in a period when it's slowed down, let's say, mm-hmm. is consolidation. So what you have as a portfolio, as contracts, as customers, try to keep it. But you need to take the right decision at that moment, stop and consolidate what we have. And then when it's going up, because economy, financial is going up and down.
Yep.
If you see it's the last
cyclical and waves.
Yep. And if you feel that it's going down, when it's going down, the first thing that you should do with your company is consolidate what you have. If you have to put people out. If you have to losing contracts which are not bringing new money, put them out. You don't need to be afraid, but you need to take the decision. Because even when it's your company or a company where you have an owner, the only thing that I like to see is a plus on the end of the year. That's the only thing that they want. So you need to take decisions to do the right thing to keep that plus, which is not always easy. Huh? I remember COVID.
Yep.
For some companies, and there as a professional, you even could do anything. Because it was like that, everything closed and closed. But again, each crisis period has also opportunities, but you need to find them. I remember with COVID that some Belgian companies here in Romania made a huge profit, Other companies losing a lot. Mm-hmm. So it depends also the what kind of business that you do. But especially in the area that I was consolidation in a difficult period.
Are we in this type of period at the moment?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. You feel this very much that this problem is going on. Romania was booming over the last years.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was one of the hotspots in Europe, together with Poland. But Romania is coming out at a very difficult year, 2025. I don't have to refer to the elections,
yep.
Which gave a very negative image about Romania, because we are so full of media that whatever happens in a country, the whole world is knowing this.
Absolutely.
So luckily, or unluckily, some people will say, I need to see what I'm saying, we could redress a little bit the situation, but the bad things happened. And one of the first indicators is that the foreign direct investments for Romania, I don't say crashed, but nearly crashed. So I know also a lot of Western European countries left Romania because the unstable situation
It has been slowing down this tendency for the last months. That's my impression. And some are coming back, or some new ones are tapping into Romania, which I see. But and that brings us to the next topic, which I wanted to discuss, because you are here. I mean, for us Romanians, and I love that you already say that we Romania. So you also feel a little bit Romanian yourself, as you are expressing yourself. But you've been here from 2007, so you've seen a lot of turmoil, a lot of ups and downs in the Romanian economy. What are the main landmarks and most important points what you can recall, which are positive for the Romanian economy for the last, well, we are already 20 years almost, plus minus.
Yeah, then I have to think very deep. But what I would like that Romania should be in some domains a little bit a leader in Romania, in Europe, in Europe.
Such as?
Which I don't see too much. But an example that I can recall now from my eyes is the Rituro. For me, if you was driving through Romania, there was a lot of garbage on the sides of the road. And I think to implement that system, I think it was a big initiative. I think it was a hell of a job to set it up, only to set it up.
And to convince the stakeholders and everything.
And if you see the biggest consequence of this, that, for example, the roads are clean on the side. That I saw directly. And Romania was, after Germany, the second country in Europe to do that. Even in my home country, native country, I have to say now, they don't have this kind of system.
And not this widely implemented.
And Romania, that I think, and I heard that already other countries are coming to Romania to see how they can implement this system.
UK is interested, if I understood correctly. I just read an article about this yesterday. And the Netherlands, Switzerland also. Switzerland also.
But the Netherlands are also doing this now. So that's a good example how Romania can create a very good name, and that's positive.
And to contribute to a country brand, country innovators.
But there I would like to say something else. In the first time when I was inviting my family and friends to come to Romania, it was a little bit like, Ola, what are you asking now?
Where are you bringing me?
Yeah, is this a safe country? Can we walk in Bucharest like normal and everything? Till they are here, till they see the country. And then you go around, and most of them, they say, what nice landscape, nature, nice cities. There is a lack, you're a marketeer, there is a lack on marketing on Romania, on the brand Romania. There we should do something.
If I would challenge you to, I have never been in Romania. We met in another country. And I ask you, where are you living in? And you say Romania. Like, okay, tell me something about Romania. What should I know about Romania as a country, as a brand? What would you tell me the top three?
No, I should not put it in this way, because they have to develop, to explore themselves by coming here.
Okay, so as an invitation then?
Yeah, what I mostly use for the moment is that quality of life in Romania is better than in my native country.
Why do you say so?
You was also a couple of times in Belgium. I know also Belgium.
Here a couple of times.
I know Belgium from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. It's a totally different country than at that period. Not in the positive way. We had a mass immigration. The criminality went very fast up. We have a big influx via the port of Antwerp of drugs from South America. Not only Belgium changed, also France, also the Netherlands, Germany, UK, because this influx from the mass immigration, we had a first wave with the fall of the wall from Berlin. We had a lot of Russian, Georgian people coming. And then the years after, a lot of influx from people from Asia, Africa, from our old colonies. Don't forget this. And this is something what in Romania is, keep it, at this moment is not. Coming back to the marketing, it's also something in the head of the Romanians. And the Romanians, they have something over them about complaining about their own country. You should promote your country. If we have so many people in the diaspora, you should promote your country. When I go, for example, to Belgium and I see Romanians there, I tell them, please come back to Romania because we need you. So maybe I'm a bigger promoter than the most of the Romania about Romania. No, Romania has still a lot of opportunities. Be proud on your country. Promote your country everywhere where you go. Because I remember when so many years back, when in Belgium they was talking about Romania, gypsies, beggars, and so on. Every country has this.
Yes.
Every country has it. But you have to promote. I give another example. It was last year in the summer, we was called by the Chancellery of the of the Prime Minister with a different Chamber of Commerce because they saw the dramatic figures of the foreign direct investment. And we was in Plateau Victoria, and there was curious what input we would like to give. Luckily or unluckily, I was the first to answer. I said, listen, you redressed a little bit the situation, which is okay, but now it's time to do a marketing campaign to promote Romania. I said, and I was looking a little bit what he is telling. I said, yes, now you need to go to these countries, you from the government, to promote your country. Really, it's not, companies are not coming like that. You need to go to France, you need to go to Germany, to Spain, to Belgium, UK, go with a trade mission, but promote always your country to attract foreign investments because we still need them.
That is very interesting that you are saying, because literally my next question would have been, what do foreign investors understand about Romania, and what are Romania's most important advantages they should take and build on it?
Yeah, comparing with 2007, this is a little bit is shifted. The advantage of the salaries is a little bit disappearing. Another 5 years and is disappearing because a lot of companies, they brought the production to Romania because of the workforce, the cheaper workforce, and that you cannot deny. No, I will put it in another way. When Belgian company was asking me, to invest in Romania, at that moment you need to be a bookkeeper, to take a white paper, split it in two, advantages, disadvantage. But you have to tell the disadvantage, because if you don't tell it, they can be upset. So my 5 points was like this. It was the cheaper workforce, and it was the bureaucracy, But bureaucracy is a little bit in all the countries. Should be going a little bit smoother here. Corruption. But corruption is all over the place. It's not only Romania. The road infrastructure or infrastructure, transport in general, and the unstable political situation.
These were there would have been disadvantages of Romania.
Yeah, this was, but you have to tell it like it is. Okay, the workforce, it's a little bit gone in this way that it's the salaries are quite high now. They are working on
closer to European countries.
Yes, which is good, but not for an investor. What is a positive point is that I always said the Romanians have a certain dedication when they work. They have a certain flexibility, and that I like very much. You know, in Western countries, 5 o'clock is 5 o'clock. Eh? I don't say that it's not here, but it's less. That I like. But Romania is on that level coming on European standards.
Okay.
But the only thing that they have to do is to promote their country more and more, and try to avoid some. Belgium is very well known in Romania for the real estate in general. We have big companies. The top 20 of Belgium is active in Romania, and big guys. Is the bureaucracy, especially what our current president did in his period as a mayor of Bucharest, is the building permits. Yep. And what an investor is liking, he knows that when he invests in real estate, take a period before you have a return of your investment. But an investor cannot wait 6-7 years. He wants to have a return after 3-4 years, because you need to have the authorization, the building period, the selling period, and so on and so on. And that is taking too long a little bit. If I compare them with my colleague from the Polish-Belgian Chamber of Commerce, it's a little bit different there. Yeah. And there we should work on.
Okay, so speeding up and making less bureaucratic and more transparent and calculable all these procedures. That's an important aspect of what Romania should work, and that would attract more foreign investors. But not only this, of course.
We are not only this.
Yeah, we are also working on the big infrastructure. We are working on multiple highways, and that's, I think, can also bring some investors to Romania. You're leading the Chamber of Commerce again 30 or 40 years. You're a leader by yourself also. And you are surrounded by other leaders, other company owners who talked with you. And you probably discussed the current situation. What do you think the successful leader of a company will, what should be their most important characteristics for the next 10, 15 years? I know it's very hard to foresee what's going to be in 10, 15 years.
There are two things that I would like to say is that, a long period, trade missions that coming out of Western European countries was always focused on the east part of Europe. I'm going to Poland, going to Bulgaria, Romania, whatever. 4 or 5 years ago, I had the idea to go with a trade mission to opposite. Started to go to Belgium and to Luxembourg. Because we are a bilateral chamber of commerce. Yes. We work in all directions, in the 4 directions: Belgium, Luxembourg, Romania, Moldova. So it's not possible that young Romanian entrepreneurs doesn't want to do business in the Benelux, for example. And you have good young entrepreneurs, and they appreciate this. But it's also a good sign for the Belgian companies who meet these Romanian entrepreneurs that, in fact, Romanian are people with knowledge and with smart people maybe we should try to find also how to do something in Romania. That's very important. Another thing that I'm saying, I'm a European. I come out of the country is the heart of Europe. Geographically, it's not the heart of Europe, but okay, it's started there. Last year, I was on a conference with the different directors of chambers, where everyone was promoting his country, German companies, Italian, French, and I said, and it was in that period with the tariffs of Trump, import tariffs and so on. I said, I think it's high time that we're going to talk about, we are representing a European company, not a German, not a French, not an Italian, not a Belgian, but a European company. We are a small continent, and everyone is, and it's still divided in small things. We should be united and say, listen, we are a European company. We want to be strong against China, America, whatever, and try to promote that. Because if you see these days, the structure of a company, the shareholder structure, is divided. Can be parts from Belgium, a part from France, a part from Germany. Let's call us European company. And we need to be on that level. We need to be stronger. Some companies are doing this, but we should do this more. Of course, then you have to, especially for the bigger countries, they have, how to say, maybe to put a little bit away their pride. Say we are from France or from Germany. No, we are European. We are a small continent comparing with America, China, Russia.
Why is that hard to feel like that? I mean, for a Romanian company to say that we are European, that's, upward moving thinking, right?
Yeah, why it's hard? I think in the first place we should ask them. You ask me now, but I'm a European, so I promote all the time European. On world level, what is Belgium? Okay, it's not a small
economy,
but we are a small company.
Geographically, it's a smaller country than Romania, but economically, it's not that.
Why we say this, I think, is coming from the history. Europe was a continent with a lot of history, and I was already surprised that in 91, I think, there was a signing of the Treaty of Maastricht. Going back to the Eurozone, we implemented in 2002 in Belgium the Euro. That, for example, a country like France and Germany implemented Euro. So you see, if you talk, it's possible. Yeah, correct. Now we need to go one step further, that we make a European rule, that this is a European company. The problem is a little bit our European institutions is a big monster, and it's not moving like it should be. Too many rules, too many things that we have to implement, and there we should have to create also a flexibility.
It's getting to a point where this is more and more clearly stated, even EU leaders, that we have a high level of bureaucracy and high level of unnecessary complications.
Yeah,
right. One of the good initiative was that to normalize like a couple of days of a new company founding all over the Europe to have the same level of bureaucracy, for example. Now, you mentioned that you are a bilateral chamber of commerce, and that's important because I want to build on this and your experience. At this table, we had Andrei Radu, for example, from GPEC, which is one of the most important e-commerce events in Romania. We had other guests who are from the e-commerce section. And there, I already heard, and they are advocating for it, and I think they're doing a good job promoting this idea, that in Romania, there's already experience and knowledge and expertise, and companies should go out of Romania and to make a business in another country also, like in a neighboring one. This is the easiest one, like Bulgaria, Hungary, and Poland. But some companies, they're already thinking to go even in Western Europe, or why not the US or Asia. Now, from your point of view, what would be the most important things to realize and to make sure to understand for a Romanian company which wants to invest in a Western country?
But Mike, I will come back to with the question: why they should go to Western Europe? Just for the business?
To scale, because in Romania sometimes it's already very hard to increase their market share, for example, or they have something, a competitive advantage which is not yet covered in other countries, so they can make another level of business.
You know, for a Romanian company to go to another country, or another country to another country, it depends also on the kind of business that you do. There are companies, Romanian companies, they are only defined for the Romanian market.
Yes.
But it depends what kind of business that you do. But I will come back with another thing. You know, as I would that a lot of things should be harmonized within Europe. And I remember it was in 2000, I was working still for DHL, and I went to a conference. I was on the customer accounting side of DHL. So I was in finance together with contracts with big logistic customers. And it was a conference, I think it was PwC who organized it in Denmark, about the harmonization of the VAT in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Try to do that. If it's impossible to fix that, how you can harmonize? We should have a continent where everything is on the same level. VAT, taxes, we should be much, much stronger. But this is nearly impossible. Don't forget, if you take the example of the VAT is the cash flow of the country.
Yeah.
So if the higher it is, the more cash flow they have. I mean, you know.
Yep.
So we can be, as a Romanian company, Belgian company, Spanish company, we could be much stronger also on the world level if we should be united.
Okay.
That's very important. If it will ever happen, that's another thing. That's another thing. But for Romanian companies, it depends very much the domain where they are active. Where they are active.
Do you see any domains which are more recommended to think of international endeavors?
I think when I see a little bit in Europe, where Romanians are very strong in these countries, it's in two domains. It's IT and AI. There we are very strong. I give you an example. In Luxembourg is a lot of Romanians there, and they are 80% is working in these domains, and they are working or on their own. They started their own company, or they work for big players in this domain. And why Romanians? Because you have a good knowledge. You have a very good knowledge, and you have also here all these organizations in
the universities which are
Transylvania, IT Hub. You have all these things. Not only Romania, also Moldova, very strong on this level. And there, I think Romanians are very strong on it. For the rest, you need to dare why we cannot food products, why we cannot
have quite good quality
food, why we don't promote it. But there is, in Western Europe, still a little bit the negative perception about Romania.
So there we're coming back to the country brands and promoting it.
Yeah, but that starts with your own. Yeah. That starts with your own. Mm-hmm. If you talk all the time, even as a Romanian in another country, a little bit negative about your country, you create negativity. You need to promote your company. You need to put the positive things of your country. Even when you talk to a Belgian, a French, whatever, German, but promote it. Promote your good things. It's simple.
We are closing into the last part of our episode. Of course, we can discuss, and I will have a question for you shortly after. What other topics should we discuss in this show? But we started talking about you as a young professional who studied modern history. Now, I want to come back to that as a closing part. What do you recommend for new young professionals who think they could have an international career? What do you recommend in the current state of the world? What to do? Should they, by default, start thinking, in order to have an international career, I should go in a abroad university, not Romania, for example? Or is it a prerequisite of that?
Yeah, it's a little bit a trend in Romania to go outside to study at the university, high school, or whatsoever. I don't think that it's always the best option. If you're, on the other hand, I think the level of the education in Romania needs to go up, and I'm sure it will come. It will come. No, as a young guy, as a young professional,
thinking of international career.
You should build up experience. What I mean by that is that even in Romania, you can build this up. We have more and more international corporate companies in Romania. Try to build up your career. Be open. Be open. If there's an international company and they send you abroad for whatever, be open. Learn a lot. Learn a lot. Open your eyes in the beginning, because you need to learn, and then it will come automatically. I can tell you, thanks to DHL, because I was traveling quite a lot for DHL all over the world, I got this international feeling. And that's important, that you have this. But I see that Romanians are quite open on this, but you have to learn for your professional career. Learn, listen. And when you, over the years, you grow, and then you can make it. But you have to learn. Open for everyone. Listen to everyone. Not thinking, I know it better. It's also important. I have a certain age. I learn still every day.
What are you learning now? New things. What are the new things what you learned?
But you have to.
But what are you?
What I learn every day is to... I come out of a time where there was no mobile phones. There was even no computers.
Yeah, we are, and you are, and even myself. Still, I'm from an analog world.
I maintain. Now I learned in the last weeks to maintain our own website. But I listen to people who knows it. Maybe I'm not so quick in adapting like younger people, but I'm open to learn it. But you need to be open.
Alain, I'm also open to new ideas. We covered multiple things. We talked about the path you took in your life. We talked about how you build up your life in Romania. We talked about the bigger picture, Romanian business from entrepreneurs' point of view, from investors' point of view, from Romanians going abroad point of view. We talked about your human side, and you have a very strong human side, which I very cherish, and thank you for letting me know in this show and in our previous discussions. Is there anything else you would have loved to talk and we not did it yet?
I have, besides the history that I have now as a kind of hobby, which I read a lot still about Romanian history, general history. Every day I'm reading about this, books and on the internet, on the television, or whatever. I have another passion, is music.
I knew about sport, but not music.
Sport was, it was also a passion for sure, but music, no, not so many people know this.
And you don't talk about this too much because it didn't come up in my documentation about you.
No, I come out of a generation, end of the 60s, the 70s. I had a lot of new things coming with the period of the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the hard rock, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin. Then we again went over to disco came, funk came, new wave came, punk came. I saw them all. And for me, music is very important. I have a big collection of vinyls, CDs, whatever. Music is very important. And what I would like to say that people should listen every day to music.
Mm.
But music really made music.
Okay. Not synthesized one.
Yes. In the last period, it's behind the computer. You make the music and that's it.
What is the difference? Because some would argue that that's also creation, but just different type of creation.
Yeah, but it's not with a music instrument.
Why is that important?
Because there is much more creativity.
I don't play an instrument, so
me also not.
I have no idea.
Me also not.
Yeah.
Me also not.
Mm.
You see these people in this period, even older, they was creative with a music instrument. If it's now a piano, guitar.
What if now the new instrument is not the guitar, it's not the piano, it's not the trumpet?
As a personal personal approach, it doesn't attract me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't attract me. I can enjoy a good guitarist from the past, good saxophonist playing good music. Even me as an not liking classic music before, I like now music, classical music. I can listen. And for music, it's it's open a lot of things in your mind. I'm very open.
Mm-hmm.
When it feels good in my ears, the music, I like it. It can be disco, it can be hard rock, it can be.
Depends on your mood and what you're doing.
Correct. I listen to on a Sunday morning. I can listen to Frank Sinatra, and some people say Frank Sinatra. No,
Frank Sinatra.
It's good music.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know and letting me on a different level to know you better throughout this show. And you are also every time welcome back to us, to Life and Business Champion or for the Forum IT. We have a closing tradition.
Oy.
Yes, which is meaning that every guest leaves a question to the next guest, not knowing who he, she, or it will be. We have not yet invited a AI guest, but who knows?
I can recommend you, and I can recommend you somebody.
Okay. Well, we had covered AI and the topics of cybersecurity and so on. But the question for you, it's from the AI field, nevertheless, and it's the following. The last time, I don't know if it's valid in your case, but hopefully yes. The last time you used an LLM, a ChatGPT, a Claude, or Perplexity Claude, or Grok, sorry, think of that moment. Did the LLM, the GPT, the Claude, or I don't know what you are using, if you're using one, did it surprise you? If so, with what? And was it a good or a negative thing? Positive or negative? So what was the surprise when last time you used it? And was it a pleasant or an unpleasant surprise?
No, I cannot say that it was an unpleasant surprise because I use time to time Chat GPT. But what is very important, but I was all my life like this. You get you put a question in Chat GPT about something, you get a lot of answers. Some people, and I know stories of a rector of the University of Ghent, was just copy-paste what came out without checking. Big mistake. So what is very important, what information you get out, you have to check it. That's the most important. So it means there is still room of improvement on that level. But I always was doing, always the text of my people, I was double checking on spelling, on the combination of the text, of the content is correct. And that is very important. So I see that there is still room for improvement. And it's good, It's good because there is a progress, there is evolution. The only thing with AI and all these things, some people are a little bit skeptic, but that is on the people who promote AI to convince the other people. And they don't have to convince me. I will use it where I can use it, but they don't have to convince me.
Thank you very much for your kind words. You will have the chance to leave your questions to the next guest, not knowing again who is going to be. And thank you for you all to joining us in this new Life and Business Champion episode. It was a pleasure to talk with Alain. He's a good friend of mine. We've been working for quite some time, being in the same let's say, universe of Belgian companies. I like that he mentioned that we should never give up on our dreams, and especially don't look necessarily back all the time and to second guess our choices, what we made, because as we discussed, past we cannot change, present we are the only thing what can do to act in present, because future is not existing yet. Thank you for joining with us, and I welcome you to subscribe to our channel. It gives us a good information who and why and how much do you like our shows. And that's a motivation for us to keep on going on and inviting guests like Alain all the time in front of you. Thank you, and keep up with courage and with optimism. And let's promote Romania, because I think we have a good country. Thank you.